Okay, folks. Rusty's beside me on the left. Hello, Rusty. I'm trying to stop him from hitting the camera. We are obviously at the upper pond. The ladies aren't here for work today. They have their reasons, which means I get to feed the fish. Now, what I'm going to try to do is show you a feeding frenzy. I'll just drop this in the water. Where am I looking at? Right over there. And there. I have no idea what we're going to see for fish or anything else. You know what it's like when I do this. But that was, you put the feed in and they show up and there's whirling and swirling and kind of nice to watch. At least I enjoy it. I'm a little crazy though. But this will be a very short video. It's Monday. Myra's going to town in a short while. The ladies aren't here, so I'll enjoy one of my rare I'm semi-alone days. I say semi-alone. 2 dogs, 5 geese, maybe 250 fish, and a yard full of butterflies, dragonflies, damselflies, grasshoppers, crickets, spiders. I don't think I can actually say I'm alone. And the garden itself, which I do believe is nicely alive. Gaia, is that how it's pronounced? The concept, the idea that the earth is a living, breathing being, and the universe is too. I like that idea. It's one of those things that one has to accept on faith. But that's all right. The glory of faith is you're not supposed to know, you're just supposed to believe. Which is one of the problems I have found with many people of, and I'll put this in quote marks, strong faith. They have moved from a faith to a knowledge, to a this is the fact. And I think that takes away there's a marvelous expression in Latin which I'm undoubtedly going to get wrong. Well, I will get wrong because it just left my mind entirely. The mysterium. And there's 2 or 3 other Latin words that go in with it. Mysterium et aficionado? No, that's wrong. You can do a Google search on it. The mystery that pulls you and repels you at the same time. It is so wonderful that it just draws you in, and it is so amazing and so wonderful and so unique and so powerful that you try to escape it and pull back from it. It's the story of the Old Testament, and there's one of the most truly powerful stories there. One of the prophets wants to talk to God personal, and God says, go hide yourself in that crevice, and I'll walk behind you, because if you look at me, it'll be just too much for you. You can't see me face to face. I'm too different. And the more I think on that story, the more there's a truth to it. It takes a brave person to see the face of God. Which is why, in all of the pre-industrial culture, pre-Renaissance, pre-Enlightenment period, all of the cultures had priests, shamans, set aside, and they were the ones that played or stood between the people and their God, because they were the ones who were powerful enough to do it. I mean, that got done by the church as a Christian church. They turned that into a weapon of power instead of a tool of help to help with. When you can't get to heaven unless you do confession and take communion, and the only way you can do that is through the priest. That puts the priest in a very powerful position. And it didn't take long for corruption to set in there. It was the same in the Protestant churches. You couldn't get past the rail. If you look at some old Presbyterian churches, you will see that there's a place where the congregation sits, and then at the front of the church there is a rail, a fence with a gate in it. And before communion, the designated person would go around and hand out tickets, basically, to let people in that were qualified to take communion. And believe it, that gives you a lot of power, and it doesn't take long for corruption to set in. Anyway, the feeding frenzy is over, and enough dull history. This is a beautiful spot. My dog's in the background, so somebody may have just showed up. Barking nicely. Could be Shirley, though. But they're not supposed to be coming, so I don't know who it is. I'm going to shut this off and go take a look. Y'all have a good day. With luck, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.